Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about something real quick. Former unified WBA, IBF, WBC welterweight champion, Errol the Truth Spence Jr., who will be making his 154 junior middleweight debut pretty soon, said in an exclusive interview that he will be facing, of course, Sebastian Fundora for the WBC title between November and January. And after that, he's going to line it up to where he can face Terence Bud Crawford. Dun, 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 dun. I guess we're back on that. You know, he said that's what he want to do. He want to get that rematch. He want to get his get back. This fight with Sebastian Fundora would have been for 2 titles, but it's for the WBO title as well as the WBC title. If you all remember Sebastian Fundora, he beat Tim Tszyu for the WBC and the WBO title, but Terence Crawford is the WBO mandatory. So when they fight, he will be stripped of the WBO title. And that means Terence Crawford's fight against Israel Madrimov will be for the WBA title and the WBO title. So he'll be unified if he wins his fight. Now, Errol Spence is 21 wins, 28 wins, no 1 loss, no draw, with 22 wins by way of knockout. That fight he lost to Terence Crawford, he got stopped. I mean, there's nothing much we could say or elaborate on. We all saw the beating live. He got stopped. I thought he was going to do better than that, but he got stopped. Sebastian Fundora is 21 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 13 wins by way of knockout. He was knocked out 1 time by Brian Mendoza in defense of his WBC interim title. Come back in a big, massive way to pick up 2 titles. And that was good, you know. Tall, really slender, lanky type of fighter, but he's using his jab well, as you can see in his last fight. He's learning to use and control his distance. So with that fight, excuse me, we'll have to see how things go. Can Errol Spence be who he once was, or a better version, or some version? Or will Sebastian Fundora put an end to the truth? We'll have to wait and see. Now, Terence Bud Crawford, he'll be facing, like I said, Israel Madrimov August 3rd in Los Angeles, California, on a massive, massive card that is being put on by Turkey Al-Sheikh. And I mean, we're going to have a lot of good fights. Andy Ruiz is fighting. Andy Cruz is fighting. David Morrell is fighting. Pitbull versus Jose Valenzuela. I mean, it's going to be a massive, massive card front to back. With that being said, Terence Crawford is 40 wins, no losses, no draw, 31 wins by way of knockout. Israel Madrimov is 10 wins, no losses, no draw, with 7 wins by way of knockout. Can't really remember right now. But to the defense of Terence Crawford, because a lot of people are giving him flack about this fight and his opponent not having that many pro fights. He has a decent amateur career, but he's just going after the titles. He already said it. You know, he wants the big money fights, but, you know, to be undisputed for a 3rd time in a 3rd weight division, that right there in its own is pushing the lines of, we're going to have to start talking about Terence Crawford as one of the greatest to lace him up. And that's not just me talking. We're talking, you know, all the people who've been around the sport for 50, 60 years talking about that. You know, hey, you know, Teddy Atlas, his trainers, and, you know, other boxers who he's even fought, even saying it, that if he goes undisputed for a 3rd time in a 3rd weight class and clears out another division, which that's the outlook on it and what may end up happening. Yeah, you will have to consider that, you know, because say he does that within the next 4 or 5 fights, and and he calls it quits. He don't need to go 50-0. No knock to Mayweather, but a lot of people, that's the measuring scale. But you don't have to go 50-0. You go look at back at Terence Crawford's career and think, oh yeah, well, he didn't get all the big names in the certain divisions or whatever the case may be, but he's undisputed at 140, 147, and now potentially at 154 with a potential showdown with Canelo Alvarez looming that everybody keeps talking about, and it's always being brought up. I mean, if he does beat Canelo Alvarez and takes those titles, if he stays at super middleweight and takes those titles, that'll be 4 divisions, undisputed. I mean, you would have to consider that one of the greatest pound for pound, top 3, 5, whatever you want to call it. I'm just stating what I see, and I'm just stating, you know, how it's going to be viewed. So let me know what you guys think about this. Do you want to see the rematch between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, pending if Errol Spence comes out and beats Sebastian Fundora? Let me know in the comments. Peace.